So yeah, I'm not sure how much you got at the beginning of the show in regards to my film, Single Girl in a Virtual World. What does a 21st century feminist look like? I'm really looking for participants to be a part of the film, to log on to the film's website, which is 21stcentury.com, and also the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com 21st Century Feminist. And I really want people to be engaged and participate in the film by vocalizing their thoughts, their perspectives, the ideas that they have about feminism, their own personal experiences, because I'm looking to put together a collective story of what feminism looks like today in sort of our social media stratosphere, how people communicate via Twitter and Facebook and MySpace in this new way to sort of spur a discussion in the area of activism and feminism, since people don't really gather so much and do rallies and go out on the street and wait for the traditional media to show up. So things like this, where there's internet television shows and chats and Skype interviews using cheap digital technology, I think is really important for this movement, because we share so many things. I've had a lot of my followers on Twitter and my Facebook groups have sent me information that I should look into. They'll send me other websites to look at. They'll also repost my podcast and video on other websites. So even though I think it's not activism in a traditional sense, like my mother and my grandmother used to do, we're sharing an infinite amount of information across, blind borders. We can reach around the globe 24/7. And I just think that that's something that's really phenomenal, that keeps the discussion going and enables people to gather knowledge and gather information in a way that they weren't able to do before.
I'm interested in what you said about the technology and obviously the way that we do things. That was great.
Yeah.
The technology and the way that we do things being different than our foremothers and the feminists who perhaps broke ground, even back at the beginning of the 20th century,
right?
When it came to rallying, the convention days, the conferences up in Seneca Falls, the protesters, the signs that they held, and the rallies that they held. And while it is very different, and while I recognize that difference, we're not quite yet to the point where that human interaction isn't necessary. And it's one of the reasons why I do love at places, universities like where you teach, the Mom Conference that we do in New York, our Mamapalooza festivals. There's a chance to have a real human impact based sometimes on meetings that we create through social media.
Right.
So it is a big circle. The circle is expanding. And I do think that's all good, as long as we don't forget that we still live in a body and that our bodies still are meant to embrace our sisters. I think quite like the connection that can happen when we all meet together and share great ideas.
Right. I agree. And again, this is just a marketing tool. It's a way to sort of energize and get people really passionate about the subject matter, and to organize them in a way that would be very difficult without the internet. You'd have to do phone calls, phone trees, send out direct mail pieces, in such a way that you can only reach sort of a certain circle of people. And now you can reach people all over the world, and even if they are not in a community in which they can come and participate live, flesh and blood, they still are able to take part of it through the internet. And I think that's something that's really, truly amazing, because again, you're sort of expanding your borders across cultures, across different races, and certainly in different societies who have different perspectives on feminism and what a woman's role in that society is. And I think that's what this tool is really used for, is to reach people in a new way.